Hello, everybody, and welcome to Picking the Lock, where I take popular names from our YouTube community and I ask them both mine and your questions so that you can get to know them a little bit better. Tonight's guest is Ultra Maximus Reviews. What? Sorry, I forgot to mute it. Tonight's guest is Ultra Maximus Reviews, and I'm going to apologize right now that I didn't get this out last night. I had some problems with my computer, but we're doing it now. So I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself. You can plug your channel, where we can find you on social media, anything we need to know about your social media.
Hey guys, Ultra Maximus here. And of course, you can find me on Ultra Maximus. And I've got a Facebook page, Ultra Maximus Reviews. You can click on the link if you watch any of my videos, or you can do a search on Facebook for Ultra Maximus Reviews. Come check us out. You can post your videos, your pictures, your customs, anything that you want to post that's toy or geek related on Ultra Maximus Reviews. Feel free.
Very, very nice. And this is my second interview. And, you know, I know not all of us know exactly how this goes yet, but right now I'd like to ask for any audience questions. Please feel free to fill the live chat with your questions. At the end of the interview, I will run through any audience questions. And even as we go, if you've got questions that pop up, please don't hesitate to ask. We really like to have is the YouTube buzzword at the end of these interviews here. So without further ado, we're going to get into my questions, and then we'll hopefully have a bank of at the end.
Sounds good.
All right. So question number one, is there any meaning to pseudonym?
Yeah, there is actually. It is. It's from a role-playing game. Years ago, I had a group of friends, and we did role-playing Thursday nights. Like, we played D20 games, Dungeons and Dragons. We would play Spycraft, Call of Cthulhu, Angel, Buffy, all those kind of games, right? And I put together a Transformers D20 game, and one of the non-player characters was Ultra Maximus, and he was a black and white repaint of Ultra Magnus, and he led a group of bounty hunters in the game that went after the player characters. And the Jazz was blues. He was all chrome. There was a Sideways, I think, was another one, and then Omega Bot 1 was their kind of Omega Supreme. But yeah, Ultra Maximus was the leader of this Autobot bounty hunter group that was going after the player characters. That's where it came from, and it just stuck with me ever since.
Dude, cool. Now, a quick question about that game. Was it like something you and your friends made up, or was it actually a role-playing game that existed?
It was something that we made up. I put it together, and we used the base D20 system on it. I had a Beast Wars compendium for it. We went through multiple timelines. It was a lot of fun.
Dude, sweet. That would be something I'd be interested in playing in a Google Hangout at some point.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I'm sure I've got it around in a box somewhere.
In one of the many boxes.
I'm telling you, man. My house is a storage unit.
Well, hey, that's cool. I always love finding out. See, I didn't ask TFA in my first interview about his name, but his name is pretty obvious to figure out. But people ask me all the time what my name means, and I just love finding out the story behind the names. I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So next up, how long have you been on YouTube?
A lot longer than I thought, actually. I opened an account, I think, in 2007, 2006. But when I went back and looked, I've been creating content for 6 years now. Which is crazy. Yeah, it's almost 6 years to the month. It was in January. I hit 6 years creating content.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, I had no clue. I was thinking 4 years, maybe.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah, I remember the very first review I did too. It was It was the animated Hot Rod. Was it Rodimus Minor? I think was the character's
Yep.
name.
Yep. I have that figure. I played with him last night.
And I remember sitting on a couch, this couch actually, and watching some reviews and like, I could do this, and it ended up being like 2 reviews, part 1 and 2, because I could only do like 15 minutes at once, and I had no clue what I was doing. Yeah, 6 years ago.
Yeah, man. I remember my first review. I believe it was my first serious review on YouTube was I think it was first edition Bumblebee, and that video was 30 minutes long. And so it's so funny when everybody starts out, they talk forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you figure out, like, this is what people want to hear, this is what people don't want to hear.
Yeah,
it just becomes a science.
Exactly.
Your videos, they're what are you pushing? Like 15 minutes now?
Yeah, somewhere around there. I try. My target is around 8 minutes, but sometimes I go 10 to 15.
Yeah, I was about to say, mine usually hit around the 10-minute mark usually, but you got to incorporate your stop motion and a bunch of different plugs that you've got, so it kind of makes sense that yours are a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like to do a little bit of a history on the character or the figure or something like that.
It's definitely a unique thing. I don't see that very often.
Yeah, and I think I try to point out some things other people don't, and I ramble.
It happens to the best of us.
Right.
Cool. All right. Well, what caused you to get started? I know you said you watched a video and you were like, I can do this, but what fuels the fire at Ultra Maximus Reviews?
It's kind of funny, and it was a YouTuber over in England named he goes by Kal-El Prime, and he's still out and about. I don't think he does as much as he used to. And I started watching Transformers animated way back in the day, and Kal-El would do, after the episode, he would do kind of a recap and his thoughts, and he would kind of review the episode. And I would be at work. I worked as a QC manager at a call center at the time, and after hours, I would sit and watch his little review on the episode, and it just got me hooked, and I just kept watching and watching. And then from there, I kind of clicked into some toy reviews and some things that were bounced after I was watching his. You look over here, I'm like, ooh, this might be interesting, and it recommend for you. And I start watching some of these other toy reviews, and I'm like, I could probably do this. And I just sat down one Saturday and said, why not?
Very cool. Very cool. Are there any lessons, like big or small, that you have learned in your 6 years on YouTube?
Yes. Lesson number 1, people really don't pay much more attention than 2 minutes. Yeah, that's, if you go back and look at your analytics, I think about every YouTuber I've ever talked to, the average attention span is about 2 minutes. So that's why I try to cut down to about 8 minutes. Other things that I think that are going to be huge, and people are going to get a lot of views and a lot of hits, will bomb. And nobody will want to see it. And then things I'll think is a trash video or just kind of a throwaway video that'll skyrocket and go viral, like my number 1 video, my number 2, my top 2 videos. One is a Dinobot combiner from AOE, where it was a picture that I'd seen. I want to say it was on Cybertron.com. Somebody had kind of stacked the Dinobots together to make a gestalt. And I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I can do that. And I did it and called him Dino King and did a video on it. It has over 125,000 views. Which wow. I just didn't think, I'm like, nobody's going to care about this. And I did it with a cell phone. I'm just like,
throwaway.
Yeah, just a throwaway. And then I picked up, it was a Play School toy, Optimus Primal. And I remembered seeing it debuted at a toy fair. Didn't think anything of it. Like 6 months after it debuted, I kept passing it at Toys R Us because I thought it was too much. And then one day I'm like, I'm just going to pick it up. So I bought it, and I did a review with it. And that was my number 1 video forever. It's got like 117,000 views on it. And I think I was the very first person on YouTube to ever look at that toy. You know, so it's what you think is going to be a throwaway, you never know, you know. And then I got to say the best things that I've learned watching other people. Shartimus Prime, he's the one that got me into stop motions. So if you're watching Russ, thank you, sir. That's a lot of fun. I've always loved stop motion. I thought that was a great idea. You know, I watch a lot of PIA, Bolt Matrix, Glenn Webb, the late great Glenn Webb. You know, yeah. You know, I watch these guys and I like what this person did. I like what this person did. I think, you know, Glenn got me into, you know, doing certain things in the channel. Like I continue to do the ankle rocker pivot in his memory. And I want to say it was Bolt Matrix that got me into the turntables. I saw him using a turntable. I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea. And I went out and got some turntables. And, you know, Pia's very, I want to say rudimentary, but very, very basic, and not in a bad way, on his reviews is very, hey, this is what it does. Here it is. Here it is. He's kind of got some of those shorter videos that really kind of shows you, hey, this is the way you want to go with it, you know? And I think, and it's a lot like I've told employees in the jobs I've worked in over the years, is you take things from other people that you like and incorporate it into your own style and put your own twist into it, you know? And I think those are some of the things that you can really learn and grow with.
Yeah, cool. Have you, I know we talked about time already. Have you noticed any significant changes in your content as you've grown?
Yes, quality. I think when I go back and look
don't
at
we all?
Right? I think it's like the basic one, right? You know, when I started out, I was using a really cheap little clip-on webcam camera from like, oh God, I don't know, 10 years ago. It finally junked out on me. I got mad and threw it across the room one day, and then I started using my I started using my Galaxy S3 on videos, and you know, looking back at them, like, oh, why didn't I get a tripod or something? And then, you know, finally, I invested into a camcorder and a tripod, and I made a background because I started out sitting on a couch. I've done reviews where I've sat in the hotel rooms. Oddly enough, I traveled for work at the time, and I would find figures while I was out and about traveling, and I'd go back to the hotel room and just sit there and do a review. And then I decided I was going to build a stage, you know, after watching like Shartimus and some other people, and so I did that, and I wanted a different color, so I went with a gray color. I didn't want white because, you know, Optibotimus used white, Shartimus uses white, and a few other people. So I want to do something a little bit different, and that's why my stage is gray. And you know, I think doing that and the tripod and camcorder really changed the way it looked, the style of it. Editing has changed a lot since I started. I do a lot of takes now, where I'll record one segment. If I don't like it, I'll record it again and kind of go back and look and see which ones I want. And then I also I break them up when I do it, and I do them in certain orders. I do boxes first. You know, rotate a box around, look at the front, look at the back, look at the figure, kind of talk about it. Articulation, which, you know, I got that from watching Glenn. I like the way he did that. And then I'll go into close-ups of the figure, which I've seen some people do some rotations and stuff, but to be honest, and I may be subconscious in this, I don't know that many people that do a close-up like I do, where I do the top of the figure, the head, middle section, feet, you know, and really kind of try to give the people a real close look at the thing. And then, you know, then I cut the comparisons and things to that kind of nature. So the way the format has kind of compiled over the years, and then of course how I edit things. Going back, I don't have any editing software. I use Microsoft Windows Movie Maker and Microsoft Paint to do my thumbnails and then edit the movies. So it's zero budget. The only budget I've ever put into it's my camera and the tripod. And so anybody out there who's wanting to get into this, look at that. You don't have to have a big budget, I don't think, to do a decent video channel, And then the stop motions. Oh Lord, that has changed since I started doing that, and it's gotten more efficient in doing it. What used to take me, man, like all day to do like 30 seconds now only takes a couple hours. And that sounds goofy, but 2 hours to do 30 seconds is not bad compared to what it was when I very first started. I've learned a lot.
Motion takes a while. I've done it in the past, and I can appreciate how hard a work it is, and that's definitely considering your efficiency. I definitely agree. It doesn't sound that silly for anybody who's done stop motion. They're like, oh yeah, 2 hours. That's good.
Well, it's funny because Sharma's Prime, I've seen on his channel where he talks about, because last year he did a stop motion for every single one of his videos, and he kind of mentioned that it takes a while, and when he doesn't do one, he kind of prefaces it, and he didn't have the time to do it. And I totally get where he comes from with it, because it does take a lot of time, and I enjoy doing it. I always have, and that kind of stuff. So it's fun. It's part of. If I don't do one, I feel like something's missing.
Yeah, it seems to definitely be part of your signature style now. So very cool, very cool. You touched on some of these, but is there anything you would tell 6 years ago when you were starting YouTube, if you could tell that guy anything, or even people starting up right now? It happens all the time. We get new faces in the community every day. What would be some of those things that you would?
Keep your damn videos under 8 minutes. Yeah, because I mean, and I can't stress that one enough. Keep them short. You hear that term, kiss it. Keep it simple, stupid. The analytics don't lie. I mean, they're always 2 to 3 minutes maximum on what people watch. And there's going to be certain things they skip to and want to see, in those videos. So, I would say, try to keep your videos as brief as possible. It's a I want it now world. People have very short attention span. Don't do 30-minute videos if you can't. If you can. Some of the bigger figures, I think there's no way getting around it. I noticed the larger the figure, the more features it has. You can't get around that. But definitely keep it under 15, and even I have a problem with that at times. But there's so much I want to say on the figure, and I don't know. Maybe look at what do you want to do? What do you want to what do you want to do? Make it something different. It took me a while to find what I like on my channel and how to do it.
Yeah.
And also look at investment. If you're wanting to do this and something a lot, one, you're not going to get rich. You're not going to do this as a job. I'm going to tell you this right now. There's like 4 people on YouTube that do this as a professional job. This is
exactly, and even they have monetary troubles. If I remember correctly, Optibotimus had to switch over to a Patreon, and whatever works for him. But it's the entertainment industry is not a stable career path. It's a good hobby, but it's not a stable career path.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a hobby. I look at it as a hobby that pays itself back. I get monetary reimbursement through AdSense. It's how I bought my camcorder. That's how I bought my tripod. And then I take a lot of that money that I get from that and reinvest it into toys. It's a hobby that pays for itself. So, but if you're looking at doing it and you want to do quality, you want it to look professional, invest. Get a camcorder, get a tripod, get some light rigging, build yourself a nice stage. Look at photography, video setups, stop motion, that kind of stuff. What those people do to set that up, because that's going to make yours look better. I'm going to try building a new stage this summer, and I'm getting new light rigging and new light filters in the background and all that kind of stuff. Just because I want to do that. So those are the kind of things I would look at.
Yeah, sweet. Are there any aspirations on your channel that you have yet to achieve?
Yes, I want to not to do anything else but YouTube. um, that would be nice. That would be kind of fun. Oh, well, I would say probably my biggest aspiration, and this comes from video game playing. I want the damn play button. Uh, I want to.
Yes.
I want to get to the point where I have enough subscribers, enough views, where I get at least the first play button. I definitely want to do that video. I can't wait to do that video. And I'm going to put it up on my wall back here. That would be very cool, very neat. You know, and it would be fun to be able to do it for a living. And I don't know, to be honest, lately I've been talking to some people and thinking about it. I thought about getting more into stop motion. I would really like to get into maybe doing series or maybe short films. You know, I don't know if I'd create a different YouTube channel for that specifically. But I think that would
keep it all on there.
Yeah, keep it on the same level.
Yeah, might as well not start over, you know?
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I think if I was going to do something more with YouTube, that I would just involve just YouTube, it might be stop motion. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There's definitely an audience for that. Like, you know, working on Transformers United with Kyle, there's definitely an audience for that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I would encourage that. I think that'd be awesome. And then my last question, and I'm going to go ahead and ask again, if there's anybody watching right now that wants to ask him a question, please don't hesitate. I've got a couple of them, but they're all from TF Fan Page 101. Surprise, surprise. We're like the Three Musketeers,
right?
Us three, we're dangerous together. But then my last question is, coming or in development projects that you'd like to plug, just to advertise a little bit.
Yeah, so last week was a big ad spam on my channel. I'm doing two things. One is a series I'm calling Toy versus Toy, where I'm going to take two action figures and compare them. So, like if you watched any of the trailers last week, you'd see an older Venom figure versus a new Venom figure, an old Jabba versus a new Jabba, the Marvel Select Juggernaut versus the Legends, and you know, the Sharkticon Transformers Prime Megatron versus the regular Transformers Prime Megatron. So
that'll be a good one.
Yeah, so take two toys that are the same but different, and I'm going to look at 5 different aspects of it. One is paint, then sculpt, articulation, playability, meaning like accessories or play gimmicks, something to that nature, and then cost. And then, so, okay, this one has better paint. This one does better articulation. This one's got better playability. This one costs less. And then, you know, try to see out of those 5, which one ranks highest. So which one's going to win. And then I'll probably do a stop motion, you know, corresponding with that. And there's a bug that's flying around.
I've seen it. I'm like, what is that?
So yeah, you know, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and I finally got some time. I started to work on that, so those should be coming out pretty soon. And then also another one I want to do over the summer here. I want to do a stop motion WrestleMania series.
Cool.
So I'm gonna take all the classic wrestlers in my collection. I got a few more I want to pick up, but pit 2 of them off, and I want to make it a fan interactive thing. So the fans will be the ones who vote which wrestler wins in said match, and then I will do a stop motion with the fans' choice of the winner, and then go through each one and, you know, kind of go all the way down to a WrestleMania title belt at the end of it all. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I know a lot of people who are super into wrestling. I could never get into wrestling figures. I don't know why, just me. But I know a lot of people who are really into wrestling, and so that's definitely going to be really cool for that type of audience. I'm adjusting my microphone because it's super low. But yeah, that'll be really cool.
You kind of look like Alec Baldwin from Saturday Night Live when he was doing Sweaty Balls.
That's right, man. got to represent with this microphone. This was $20 on Amazon, and it was one of the best things I've ever purchased in my entire life. Just
Nice.
just throwing that out there as a toner USB microphone. If any of you want to get into something like that, they're not sponsored by me. I wish I was, or they don't sponsor me. I wish I was sponsored by them. That would be awesome. So yeah, that's cool. We got a couple questions here. Not much, but kind of what I expected on a Sunday night here. TF Fan Page 101 asks when your next live stream will be.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe in a couple weeks. I'd like to do another one. It was a lot of fun. Gonna have to find some good topics for that one. I don't know. We did have Toy Fair come out here, so a lot of stuff that was revealed. So yeah, maybe a couple weeks.
Cool. He also wants to throw in there, but we'll make this a question because somebody else is asking about the backdrops. He wants to say that the gray background makes it look like your lighting setup is poor, but I don't see much of a problem with it. I want to say that, white backgrounds tend to wash out light very badly, and black backgrounds tend to eat up a lot of light. So I feel like gray is a very happy medium. But I guess what question we could derive from that is what does your lighting setup look like?
I don't have one, which is why in some videos it looks poor, because if you watch my channel, and this is why I recommend getting a light rigging set up, because that's something I'm going to get this summer. If you watch my channel and the gray looks lighter, that's being filmed during the day with sunlight coming in. If the background looks like it's a darker gray or kind of awkward, that's at night. So, I mean, there's a very distinct, you can tell when I'm recording at night versus using is the light, the lamp off of the ceiling for the lighting. So, yeah, that's a very, very accurate notice there, and which is something that I want to try to improve this summer.
Yeah, man. Here's the solution I found, because this is an apartment. I don't have a lot of space to set up a review stage, but I do have ample desk space. And my solution to a lighting setup was it's actually a 3-headed lamp, but I know they make them in 5-headed too. Mm-hmm. They're the flexible, right? So you can position the heads in any way. So what I did was I bought one of those, and I also got some of the very nice early bulbs. I forget the official name of them, but I bought those that emit a very 5,000 Kelvin, very white color. And whenever I'm it's on right now, and it provides ample light for this. But whenever I'm reviewing, I turn all those lights on and I train them down on the figures, and it makes a world of difference. And it's really not that expensive of a setup.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something like that, I mean, you can find those lamps as cheap as $20, and it's just putting the right bulbs in there.
I looked at a few of those at Walmart. I just hadn't had any real time, to be honest, because I work a full-time job, and then I also do some contract writing, and then I do have maybe 5% of my life available to me. But yeah, that's something I'd looked at. I looked at some professional light rigs. My stage, funny thing about my stage is it's a TV tray, and I took 2 yard sale signs and spray painted them gray with Rust-Oleum gray, black gray, and just taped them together and put them up against the wall. That's my stage. It's nothing huge at all. So doing something like that should be pretty easy. So, but that's part of this summer's improvement.
Cool. Optimus Gaming Productions is asking. He was asking about your background, and so you just explained that. But what are other good solutions you think? I see TF Fan Page is throwing out construction paper. I would say more poster board paper, or
something that has. When he says construction paper, that's actually a really good idea. A medium that because it's got that fibrous paper that absorbs rather than reflects. You could also use cloth. I've seen people use a cotton sheet. You can drape up to kind of absorb I think, I've seen people using the photographers backdrops that are built for absorbing light rather than reflecting it back, things to that kind of nature. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do to change in the future. I'm probably going to go, me personally, something a little bit more professional, something more from a photographer's studio.
Yeah.
To make it as high quality as I can.
Yeah, but if you're starting out Optimus Gaming, I would recommend, take a trip to the craft store, just like TF fan page said. Go get you some poster board or get you some cardboard and spray paint it. It's super simple. All you got to do is have a very solid color. And
now, I would advise, if you are setting something up, make it big enough. Don't do something where you can see seams and stuff in the background.
Yep.
Make it one big piece. And then my other recommendation would be make it so that you can review something huge if you need to. Like if you've got a Fortress Fortress Maximus, a Grand Fort, any of those kind of things that you can still use that background and not see the edges of the wall. Like when I get boxes that are kind of big, you can see the edge of my stage, and if you're going to do it, go big so that you don't have that problem. I think that's something I would have done.
Suggestion is the project presentation boards. They expand obviously because they fold out, and they also store away really easily. So that's another solution.
Yep. There you go.
So cool. Optimus Gaming wants to know what your thoughts are on Titan's Return so far. Good, bad, or just plain terrible?
I have had very few bad experiences with the line so far. I like the gimmick. I like how you can take the little headmaster units and use them across the entire line. I like how we're getting very good updates on characters. Some really nice G1 style head sculpts, nice nods to G1. Some of them are better Generations figures than we've gotten in the Generations line. In fact, I'm going to do a toy versus toy of a Generation Scourge versus the Headmaster Scourge.
That would be good.
I think my biggest complaint with the Titans Return line is that there are some characters that I was upset that we only got the little tiny Titans Returns, Legends type, the little heads guys like Ape Face, and oh man, Repugnus. They're just the little guys, and I really wanted an Ape Face and a Repugnus, and at least the deluxe size. I think that's my biggest gripe. Other than that, I think they've been great. They've been pretty fun.
Cool. Real quick, what are your thoughts? Have you seen the Overlord? What are your thoughts on the leader Overlord?
It looks pretty cool. I gotta say, I'm liking it. It'll be one of those. I think that's going to be one that once I see it in hand, unless I get it in a promo box, it'll be looking at it on the shelf and deciding if I'm going to buy it or not. Because Galvatron and Blaster and Soundwave were like that. I got Blaster in a promo box, had no intention of buying him. After I got him, I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I may get the Soundwave when it came out, and I just reviewed him over the weekend. And man, I forgot how much the leaders are.
Yeah, they're expensive. I saw Soundwave in person for the first time this weekend, and number one, he was bigger than I was expecting, but I wasn't really inclined to buy him, even at that $45 price point, because I've got the Masterpiece, so I really don't need any other Soundwave.
Yeah, I got the Year of the Goat Soundwave. I don't have the regular Masterpiece Soundwave, which I want. But since I had the Blaster, and I've always liked Soundwave more than Blaster, I figured, why not?
Yeah.
And after I bought him, I'm like, he's about $10 too much for what it is. Yeah. And I think Overlord, it's going to be looking at it in the package. Am I going to want to get it or not? Like when I picked up Galvatron, I put him back. The head on it, the mask on it, just looked horrible. It looks cool
Yeah.
in the gun mode, the cannon mode, but yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a. How's it look in hand?
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll send you a little Shapeways treat. There's a helmet that you can put on Titan's Return Galvatron.
Oh,
That's
nice.
not very expensive, and maybe I'll if I can on and take measurements, and maybe I'll start 3D printing them so they'll be cheaper for me, or maybe I'll just find another one, and order it. It definitely helps. I've seen them; they look great.
Yeah, I'll have
So,
to check those out. I didn't know they had them.
yeah, I'll send you a link. It's like
Okay.
$7,
That's not bad. That's not
but
bad.
Overlord is. I like the idea of Overlord as a character, but I like Sky Shadow as a design better.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm really divided on which one I'm going to get. But anyway, so know any more robots in disguise figures you plan on obtaining?
Yeah, yes. Skywarp.
Ooh.
Gotta get Skywarp. I hoping I was talking to TF Fan Page 101 actually last night about this. Hoping they get Thundercracker. They do Skywarp.
Cool.
I can't imagine them not doing a Thundercracker. There's the what are they called? The Combiner Force figure.
Yeah.
I've seen the Wave 1. I'm not too impressed at all with them. But in the second wave, I think TF Fan Page mentioned he comes in. There's one that kind of looks like a Star Saber. Kind of interested in that one, even though they have zero articulation. It looks interesting. And then there's a new Windblade that has the battle mask. I may pick that up.
I saw that.
May pick up Soundwave.
He looks cool.
He looks a lot like the old. He looks like a cross between the animated and the
Prime. He's a fusion of animated Prime and War for Cybertron.
Yes. War for Cybertron. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's which I kind of wanted which I'm hoping that means he's going to return and get a new alt mode in the show. But I really wanted the drone retool. I would have liked a nice new version of that.
Laserbeak, yeah.
Yeah. So I think some of those.
Cool. They also want to know: are you getting?
Again, I think that's going to be one of those things. If it comes in a promo box, absolutely be awesome. If not, if it's something I'm going to personally buy, it's got to be. Does it look cool in hand? And from the pictures, it does. I've never had a 6-shot, so it'll be interesting. And I think that one having 6 modes is worth the $45 price tag. So we'll see.
Yeah, cool. Looks like the last thing I've got here is TF Fan Page wants me to remind you, Blue Bisque.
Oh yes, Blue Bisque. Yes. That would be really, really cool. What's his name? It's another soup. He was on the Scavengers. Yeah. That's coming out. I remember. Yeah, he showed me that the other day. That looks really cool.
And then Optimus Gaming snuck this last question in. I'm going to ask this because I'm curious as well. Then this will be the last question we do. What are your thoughts about the Last Night toys?
Oh.
By that, I mean all the Age of Extinction repaints.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sharply divided with that. Hitler Bumblebee as a TF Fan Page. A lot of it looks like crap. It really does. It feels like this is going to be Michael Bay's last movies, so to speak, they say.
I hope.
And it seems like the toy line just doesn't care.
Just like the movies.
Yeah, it's just like, it's there until we do a major reboot. I think if you missed out on some of the previous figures, this will be a good way to get some of those. I will probably pick up the little SUV guy with the dreadlocks. He
Yeah.
looked interesting. The Megatron jet looks really interesting.
That
He's
looks
a
like the best thing, hands down.
yeah, yeah. That's a new mold. If we get any new, I haven't seen anything about Hot Rod or any of the other new characters aside from Squeaks, and I'll
Ugh.
probably get Squeaks because he'll probably be cheap. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
that's gonna be one of those. What looks cool? What's gonna pop out? They're kind of keeping some of that stuff under wraps, and um, I'll definitely be using the repaints to pick up things I didn't have in the past. Laughing at some of the others, and then anything new and interesting. Sure, why not?
Cool. All right. Well, that seems like about it. I want to thank everybody and being understanding with my issues about last night.
Yeah.
For coming on, into mine, and I'm super stoked that you got to get in on this on the ground floor because I really wanted some to start out with, and you definitely fit that bill. Go ahead and plug your channel and
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah. Again, Ultra Maximus on YouTube, Ultra Maximus reviews, YouTube and Facebook. I do mostly Transformers, Marvel Legends, Star Wars. Really, anything geek action figure wise, I'll pick up. We'll take a look at movies, comic books every now and then, and anything kind of geeky. And then also on Facebook, Ultra Maximus reviews, and I post a lot of just about everything I do goes there, and I invite other people on my Facebook page. Use that as a forum to post your own stuff. If you're just getting into YouTube, feel free to spam the channel. Post pictures, post videos of what you're doing, and I've had people help me out. Let me post stuff. Absolutely, want the fandom to be able to do that on my page as well. So check it out.
It's very nice. I'm just responding to a comment here. All right. So that's it. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. And in 3 weeks from today, I will be interviewing All Hail Megatron 1000. And that's definitely going to get crazy because Kyle and I are like brothers we didn't even knew were from another mother. I mean, it's insane. Like it's just going to be nuts. So that happens in 3 weeks from today, and I'm pretty excited about that. And then after that interview, I've got an open spot. So if anybody wants to fit in there, I know Stealthabot wanted it, but he couldn't confirm because it was such a far out date. But if he can't make it, I'm going to need a list of people who are interested, even moving forward. So if you would like to be on the show and be interviewed, please let me know in the comments or you can send me a message through the channel, whatever. But my next interview is with All Hail Megatron 1000. And then after that, thank you all for tuning in. Once again, thanks, Ultra Maximus. This was a blast. Super glad to know you and to have you on. And I will see all of you later. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.